Hello, and welcome to the department's web series on completing the ESEA Consolidated Application. In this session, we will be discussing the Title IV Part A program's Use of Funds page within the application itself. From the primary navigation window, simply scroll down toward the bottom of the page and click the Use of Funds link under the Title IV Part A SSAE program heading. Now, prior to jumping into this page, you'll notice that the application site gives us some directions in blue, which essentially state that the financial transfer worksheet should be completed prior to working on the Use of Funds page. This is due to some of the programming language that exists within our application. If, for example, you decide to transfer some or all of your Title IV Part A funds to other eligible title programs, you would not need to complete the Use of Funds page. On the other hand, if you do intend to use Title IV Part A funds for allowable Title IV Part A projects, this page of the application would need to be completed. The Use of Funds page for Title IV Part A consists of 6 different questions related to the district's intended use of Title IV Part A funds. Of these 6 questions, questions 1, 2, and a majority of question 4 are answered automatically based upon other information you've provided within the application. For example, if you completed the financial transfer worksheet first, as instructed, and moved all of your Title IV Part A funding to other programs, the answer to question 1 would automatically populate as yes. If the answer here were yes, then no additional information would be required on this page. However, since we have not transferred all of our funds out of Title IV Part A, the answer here is no, and the rest of this page must be completed. Question 2 is another that automatically populates based upon the information you have provided in other parts of the application. In this example, you can see that we intend to use at least some of our Title IV Part A funds for Title IV Part A activities, and that our final allocation of Title IV Part A funds amounts to less than $30,000. Please note that the responses for questions 1 and 2 cannot be changed or updated on this page. Instead, the financial transfer worksheet would need to be updated for information on these 2 questions to update as well. Questions 3 through 6 also need to be completed for those applicants intending to use some or all of their Title IV Part A funds for Title IV Part A purposes. Specifically, question 3 seeks to clarify under which project categories you will use your Title IV Part A funds. Please note that the responses provided to question 3 here must also match the project category funding amounts noted on the Summary of Project Totals by Title page of the application. More specifically, these matching figures are located within the chart of Title IV Part A funding on that page. If we scroll down and click Return to ESEA menu and scroll down again, we can open the Summary of Project Totals by Title page. Here, you can see the chart of Title IV Part A funding table, any dollar amounts included in cells 1B, 2B, or 3AB must match the district's selections to question 3 on the Use of Funds page. Let's again scroll down and return to the menu. Scroll down again and then return to the Use of Funds page. As you can see for question 3, right now my response does not match how I've actually budgeted my funds. In order for these 2 to match, I would need to also select that I'm using funds for both safe and healthy students, as well as the effective use of technology. As this application includes funding for each of the content areas under Title IV Part A, it is my responsibility as the applicant to ensure that I select each category in my response to question 3 prior to my submission of the application. Question 4 is another that, for the most part, automatically populates a response on your behalf, based upon other information included within the application. Because my application includes more than one school district, it is considered a cooperative or consortium application, and the response to question 4 has been flagged by our system as a yes. You will notice that Part A of question 4 is also pre-populated with the names of the partnering districts. This information is pulled directly from the Certification for Participation in a Cooperative Project page of the application, where a lead applicant and one or more partnering districts are named. Part B of question 4 will require a response from the district if that district is applying as part of a cooperative application. You will notice that a sample response has been provided for the districts included within my application. If the district is not applying for funds in consortium with other districts, please simply type NA in the space provided for question 4B. Questions 5 and 6 of this page simply serve to reiterate a couple of distinct statutory requirements beyond those required program assurances that all applicants intending to use Title IV Part A funds must abide by. Specifically, question 5 refers to the need to use funds in a supplemental way and not use these federal dollars to supplant other funding sources. And lastly, question 6 refers to the requirement that no more than 2% of the district's Title IV Part A funds be used to support the direct administration of Title IV Part A programs and activities. Now, to update or amend previous responses for questions 3, 4, 5, or 6 of the application, please be sure to amend those responses and then click the Post Update button at the bottom of the page. This is needed to ensure that any changes made are saved prior to your submission of the application. This concludes the guidance material on the Title IV Part A Use of Funds page. For additional questions, please reach out to a member of the department's ESEA Federal Programs team.